Welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, Thank you all. Hopefully, everyone is able to get on this and join me for this, what is my very, very first Facebook Live training that I've ever done. I've done lots of lives, but I've never done a live training. So I'm excited to have you all here. I'm excited to have to be doing this for you, and I'm looking forward to the value that it will offer to all of you. Okay, so let's get going. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Icy, and I'm a social media coach. I help you with tips and strategies on how best to boost your business online. And just looking forward to getting out there and getting to teach you all as much as I can. Okay, so as you join in and as you're watching this video, do me a favor, drop a line in the comments below so I can see where you're from and I can reach out and say hi. And if you're watching this as a replay, type in hashtag replay in the comments below and let me know who you are, where you're from, so I can also reach out to you as well. All right, so let's dive in because I've got a lot to go over and I want to make sure that I get to cover it all in not taking up too much of your time. Okay, so let's start with how to handle your social media during the coronavirus crisis. Now, how many of you don't know what to say on your business social media accounts during this outbreak? So drop a number 1 in the comments below if this is you. Now, I know it was me. I was so worried that I was going to be accused of providing misinformation or being insensitive to the crisis. So what can you do as a business owner to make sure that your social media isn't missing the mark? Well, first off, let me start by saying that I absolutely recommend that you keep your social media presence going with regular and planned posts across a variety of social media platforms. As a matter of fact, during this time, you can actually increase your posting a bit. If you've never done Instagram stories, start doing them. Start doing Instagram stories. And if you have a little downtime, it's also a really good time for you to start a video series because, as all of you know, people are more likely to be on social media right now as they're stuck in their homes. Okay, secondly, regardless of your opinions about how the outbreak is being handled, everyone at this time should now be using crisis protocols for your social media. So in other words, you want to watch your tone. You want to apologize if you make a mistake. And above all else, you want to show empathy. Third, since the protocols and the cultural sentiment that's happening around us today is changing so fast, literally, like day by day, you want to check any scheduled content that you may have posted at least a week in advance and make sure you adjust it as necessary. So, for example, you may have posted last week something about going to the grocery store without a mask. And last week, that might have been fine. But now, most grocery stores are either recommending or requiring their customers to wear a mask. So you want to make sure to make any adjustments to reflect the current situation at the time of your post. Fourth, realize your followers may have loved ones who are suffering from the coronavirus or at a high risk from complications from the coronavirus. So you want to keep your tone empathetic, you want to keep it upbeat, supportive, and you want to be encouraging. Fifth, never make light of the virus or the recommendations to prevent it. Don't question whether the precautions are needed and don't mention anything that indicates that you're not following the protocols. And avoid all discussions of the politics of it, unless, of course, the politics are on brand with your business. 6, be sensitive in your posting about any sales or discounts or asking people to purchase something. You don't want to look like you're trying to profit off of this time or you're being insensitive to people's job losses and financial problems that they may be enduring because of the crisis. 7th, If any of your business practices have changed, like your hours or even how you're working, update that on all your social profiles. You might even consider creating a separate social media post that addresses it. For example, if you were someone who sold product out of your home and you're now being forced to sell it online, well, make sure you let your customers know. And lastly, if you post updates about the virus, and this even applies to your personal profile, make sure they're only from highly trusted sources, such as the CDC or the WHO. You don't want to be accused of spreading misinformation. Now, personally, I don't recommend posting updates about the virus on your business pages, except if you're doing something that's local information from a trusted resource or a trusted source about resources that are happening in your community. All right, so now I've talked about the do's and don'ts of how to post during the coronavirus on social media. Now I want to go over some other social media or go over some social media content ideas that you can actually use in your post during this time. So number one, stay away from any discussions of travel, dining out, or attending events that make it sound like it's something you're doing right now. So instead, talk about these things clearly in the past or in the future. Something along the lines of, I'd love to take a vacation and travel to Hawaii when things return to normal. See the difference there? Next one. In your content, talk about things you're doing at home with your family. Give others ideas and ask for recommendations. Suggest movies to watch. Talk about things to do with kids that are your kids' ages or some fun meals you've made at home. Share recipes. Next thing, provide tips that are relative to your industry that people can do from their homes. So, for example, if you're an interior decorator, share with your audience ways that they can possibly restyle a shelf with decorations they already currently have in their homes. No matter what your industry is, you just want to share with your audience fun tasks that they can do related to it while they're at home with their family. Next, feel free to mention the terms coronavirus or COVID-19 or social distancing. It's massive news. And if you're not mentioning it, it actually may make it seem like you're being unsympathetic. But here's the thing. You don't want to talk about it in all of your posts. I would suggest going for about 30 to 50% of them, that at least have a subtle mention of these terms. And lastly, at times like this, tempers and panic can flare up. So you may see a rise in negative comments. And the thing to keep in mind about that, it really has nothing to do with you. It's more about their frustration with where we are today. So while you always want to respond to all of your comments, you want to do so with the utmost respect and empathy. People who are acting or reacting in a hostile way, they just may be highly stressed. So don't argue. Just diffuse the situation. All right, so let's get away from talking about the coronavirus and let's just focus on ways that social media can boost your business. And let me start from the very beginning, which is, how do you begin to get noticed on social media? Whether you're someone who's new to social media or you're someone who's a veteran and has been using social media for a while. Many of us wonder, how do you create influence on social media when you don't have results to show or you're not successful in your business yet? One of the biggest things that holds people back from posting or doing videos on social media is they think they're not ready because they don't have any results yet. So here are my 10 tips to help you get over this mindset and help you get noticed. Now, let me say, regardless if you're just starting out on social media or if you've been doing it for a while, these 10 tips will help so long as you use them in the way that I'm going to recommend. So the first thing, you always want to offer good value. You always want to show up consistently. And above all else, you always want to be a real person. Trust me, people can see right through it when you're not being authentic. Tip number 2, consistently do Facebook Lives and Facebook Stories. By using these two tools, your Facebook Live and your Facebook Stories, you're allowing your audience to get to know your personality. And your lives don't have to be perfect. You don't have to make it so it's like the perfect thing you're doing. It's okay for it to be messy. Honestly, it shows that you're being human, and more people will relate to that. Tip number 3, blend education with entertainment. Now, in regards to the education part of this tip, know your target market. What are their pains? What are their problems? What are their dreams or their desires? Speak to these issues in the content in your post and in your Facebook Lives. As far as the entertainment part, that's you. Be someone that people want to watch. Smile. Be upbeat. Show that you love what you're doing, and that will rub off on the people who are watching you. Tip number 4, use an exposure agent. They are invaluable. Now, for those of you who don't know what an exposure agent is, it's the company that you're working for. For example, or who you're affiliated with. People whoever's offering you all of this content that you can use. So if you're a network marketer, for example, it's your company that you're affiliated with in that regard. If you're a franchisee, it's your franchisor. For me, I'm associated with a coaching company, so they're going to be my exposure agent. And what these exposure agents offer, it could be a combination or all of these: videos, blogs, workshops, master classes. Tons and tons of valuable information and content. And by referring to your exposure agent, guess what? It's going to take the pressure off of you and having to know it all. It's a huge time saver. Tip number 5, and this is the one that is the least liked by everyone and no one wants to hear about: time. You've got to give it time. Just because you start doing Facebook Lives and doing posts and sharing value, it doesn't mean you're going to see success straight away. You have to give it time to build trust with people and get them to know, like, and trust you. Remember, people, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Tip number 6, consistency. Even when you don't feel like it, you have to post. It's the only way to stay in front of your audience. Plus, Facebook gives you so many tools to use to schedule your post and your lives ahead of time. So there's really no excuse for you not being consistent. Hey there, Adrienne. Thanks for joining me. It's always good to see you. I hope your day is starting off nicely. And thank you so much for joining. I'm glad you're here. Okay, back to the tips now. Number 7, collaborate with someone in your industry. Interview someone you look up to. People will value what you have to say with that person and your connection with that person too. Tip number 8, lead with value and some professionalism. Letting others see who you are and sharing your journey with them, it is a great way to share with others. And always be genuine and real and authentic. Tip number 9, social proof, engagement, and interaction. Look, people are looking for conversations. They're not looking for just one-off words or emojis and things along those lines. They're looking for massive engagement and interaction. So talk to people. Hey, Gina, thank you so much. I'm glad these tips are being helpful. And it's, as always, it is so great to see you. Tip number 10. And this is my last tip that I'm going to give you on this one particular topic. But tip number 10, keep learning. Never stop learning, never stop investing, and never stop researching your influencers. You could even model yourself off of your influence. However, don't copy them because that's not going to help you with what you want to do. And it won't help you stand out in the crowd. So there you go. 10 tips from me on how you can get noticed on social media, whether you're a newbie or you're someone who's been a veteran on social media. Now, I've discussed how to post, so let me talk a little bit about when to post. So can it hurt you if you post too much or if you post too often? Or in the alternative, let me ask you, if you post too little or not enough, will that hurt you? So if you have an answer to these, and if you're someone who has seen these, put a number 2 in the comments below if you think posting too much will hurt you. And put a number 3 in the comments below if you think posting too little will hurt you. I will tell you this, in regards to both of those scenarios, the answer is yes. You can post too much and you can post too little, and either one could hurt you and will probably hurt you. So, before I explain why, let me just start by saying, if you're all over the place on social media, or you're giving crappy content, or you're being salesy and pushy, when you post, it's not going to help you or make any difference in your social media strategy. Gina, you got it on the nail. Yes, both can totally hurt. You're absolutely right. The key to posting, everybody, for regardless of posting too little, too much, or just posting in general, is you have to lead with good content about your business and your brand. And you have to lead with value. So the first thing you want to determine, who is your target market? That is, who do you want to speak to on social media? So for your personal page, your target market is going to be family and friends. But your business page's target market is going to go beyond just family and friends. So then you want to figure out, okay, well, when are these people going, what are they going to be doing during the day? All right, so for example, in other words, what are they going to be doing? When's a good time to reach them on social media? So for example, if your target audience are people that are in the workforce or work 9 to 5, well then posting during the day is not going to be a good time, because more than likely they're not going to be on their social media and therefore they're not going to see your post. So for these type of people, you're going to want to post early in the morning or at night. Next, what you want to ask yourself is, are you over-posting or are you under-posting on your pages? Now, Facebook recommends posting about 2 to 3 times a day is all you really need to do. Now, keep in mind, this is just in general. Earlier, I spoke about posting more than usual. That's because right now we're in an unusual time, and with the coronavirus, more people are, everybody's at home, so more people are online at all different times than they normally would be. So what I'm going to talk about now just goes to the general information going forward with Facebook. Okay, so going back to what I was saying before, Facebook recommends posting about 2 to 3 times a day, and that's really all they say you need to do. So if you're someone who's posting over 5 times a day, now again, this is also your business page. Your personal page, you can post as often as you want. That's completely a totally different ballgame. What I'm talking about right now is just your business page. So going back to what I was saying, if you're posting over 5 times a day, that's going to be generally overkill with Facebook's algorithm, and truly any of the social media platforms' algorithm. You want to spread your posts out throughout the day. You don't want to do them one on top of the other. And this also goes to your Facebook Lives or your lives that you're doing on other platforms. Many people like to post in their newsfeed that they're going live in 15 or 20 minutes. They think it's a great way to give somebody a reminder and let them know, hey, I'm going to be going live in 5 minutes or 10 minutes. This is a huge mistake. And the reason it's a mistake is what you're missing out on is that these are 2 separate posts. So according to the algorithm, doesn't look at what they're saying really. It's looking at more 2 posts coming in at the same time, one on top of the other, even though they're 5 or 10 minutes apart. Okay? So what you want to do instead is put something out approximately 2 hours before you're live. Or you may even want to consider spacing those 2 messages further apart by announcing your live 12 hours before your live's about to go. And then later at the 12-hour mark, post your live. Fourth, monitor your post. So regardless of what the post is, it's really important that you monitor your post during the first hour and a half to see if there's going to be any comments. Because if you're lucky enough to get people to watch your live or respond to your post, and I'm grateful to those that are on the live right now, so thank you so much for watching, everyone. You want to engage with them as soon as you can. So you want to stay on top of whether and when they comment and when they engage with you. All right, now we're going to move to another subject. So everything I've talked about so far are tips and strategies to help boost your business online. So putting these tips and strategies aside, the question I now want to ask you all, could you be ruining your own success? In other words, do you feel like there's something preventing you from being as successful as you would be normally on social media or using social media? Something that maybe that you're doing or that you're not doing. Okay? Well, I'm now going to give you 8 ways that you can that you may be sabotaging your own success, and how we can go together or how you can go about remedying those that torpedoing of things that you've been doing. Hey Caprice, thank you so much. It's good to see you here. All right, so let's start with the first thing that you could possibly be doing that's sabotaging yourself on social media. Instead of thinking of, so this is number 1, instead of thinking of yourself as the employer, the boss, you come from the mindset of thinking of yourself as an employee. A lot of us have a tendency to not look at ourselves as being in charge. We look at ourselves as working for someone else, whether it's your upline, whether it's your company, whatever the case may be, whatever industry you're in. Well, that's not how you have to do this. That is the first thing you're doing to sabotage yourself. You have to work from a business owner as opposed to an employee's mindset. You're your own boss. You work for you. So you need to think like the boss, the employer. Each day before you begin your work, you need to ask yourself, what do I have to do today to move my business forward? What do I have to do today to make money? What do I have to do today or need to do today to survive? You got to get yourself in that mode and in that mindset. Next, get over your discomfort about selling. So many of us feel guilty about selling their product or their service or their opportunity to others. But what you need to realize is that selling is what drives everything in our world. To make money, you have to sell. All right, next, get over your fears about making money. So many people think to themselves, I feel so bad, I'm making this, I'm making that. You can't come from there. You can't think that way. You have to think from a different perspective. Look at it this way. As long as you're focusing on providing value, on solving other people's problems, and on helping people get what they want, well then you know what? You can feel good about setting a price for it. Next, number 4, so many people are unwilling to acquire new skills. You have to work to learn new skills. You have to continuously sharpen your saw. Tip number 5, so many people are unwilling to connect with people. If you want to build an audience, you have to connect with people. So some of you may say, okay, so you connect. Well, how do you connect? We're stuck inside, we can't go to networking. We can't, what do? We keep doing these Zoom calls with people. How do we connect? Choose a medium, make it either a blog or a Facebook post, do an email or do a Facebook Live or even a video post, whatever you want. Pick one and then just do it. It's just a matter of practice. And I promise you, if you do it enough, it really, really, really will get easier. 6, so many people are unwilling to invest to get results. Listen, if you're not willing to invest, truly, how are you going to move your business forward? And you know what? You don't have to start with a lot of money either. Start small, start with something like $5 or $10 a day. Then once you start making money, you can increase your investment little by little. Number 7, So many people, you'd be surprised, don't know or don't understand how the numbers work behind the scenes. You know, bottom line with anything you do on social media, if you want to sell online, then you have to place an ad. It's no different than anywhere else. And that ad then has to generate clicks. And then those clicks will then generate for you leads. And then those leads are what are going to generate for you sales. So in order for all of this to be accomplished, you have to know how many clicks do you need to create a lead? You know, how many leads do you need to create a sale? So you have to know what those numbers are and how they work. Number 8, not willing to take action. You know, you have to take action. If you want to get results, you must take action. You need to do something every single day to move your business forward. Whether it's emailing your list, doing a Facebook Live, writing a blog post, connecting with people on Facebook, or creating a new ad. You have to do one of these things every single day. Now, I know I just discussed, what I just went over seems like a lot of work that you need to be doing, and there's just so many hours in a day, and of course, not to mention, we're all, with this coronavirus, we're all stuck in our homes all day, and we're filled with a lot more distractions than usual. For example, there's some of us who have kids at home. Their schools are closed, and so we're being forced to entertain them or to educate them. Up until the coronavirus hit, there was a lot of us that were out networking with friends and meeting up in networking groups. But for now, obviously, that's not possible. There were business owners with businesses, brick and mortar businesses outside their homes. And they're now being forced to work their business from inside their home. So there's no question. This is a challenging time, and for so many of us, we are totally, totally overwhelmed. And while there are many days that we feel like our lives are spinning out of control, none are as much as they have been lately with this coronavirus scare. So in this very last part of my live, I'm going to tell you how you can avoid distractions and stay focused on your business for just 60 minutes a day. That's it, 1 hour. All you need to do is stay focused for 1 hour every day. But here's the key. You have to commit to this every day. So you can't do 1 hour one day, skip a day, and another day. You have to do 60 minutes, 1 hour every day of the week. Or if you just want to do it, you don't want to do the weekends, that's your decision. But at least during the week, at the work week. Okay, so what is this magic formula I'm talking about? Well, it's very simple, and it only consists of 3 steps. Grow, engage, and promote. Now, what do I mean? I'm going to take a sip of water to get me going here. Okay, grow. Now, in your profile, your business profile, every day for, let's say, 20 minutes a day while you're doing some research on it, you want to post an inspirational, a motivational, or an educational post. And you want to make it and tie it to your business, to a mindset, or something that educates about your business or your industry to your target market. And you could even sprinkle in there a few posts with your lifestyle during these times, and definitely put that in your story as well. Next, engage. So you want to go to any of the groups that you're a member in, and you want to comment on other members' posts. You also want to like them and share with them and share their post, okay? But this is the part I can't stress enough for you when you do this part of my little magic tricks. You want to make sure that you are being a human being interacting with other human beings. You're not doing this as a business person trying to sell stuff. You're doing this as who you are, interacting with others, telling them more about you so they can get to know, like, and trust you. Okay? So that's number 2. That's the engaging. And last, we go to the promoting. Take 20 minutes a day, learning and growing your own mindset that you can share things with people that will attract them to you. You know, you want to get out there and just learn more. Look at the influencers, look at what's happening, you know, just research your industry so that you can share that and put that into the first two parts of my magic trick, the growth and the engage. Okay? So that's it, everybody. That's as simple as it is. It's those three little simple steps: grow, engage, promote. So even though it's a crazy time, and even though you've got kids at home and you're quarantined to your house and you're probably like me going nuts, you know, just take an hour a day every day and you will see that you will get results. Well, I really hope this live was of value to you. And if you think it was and you feel it can offer some value and advice to others, please feel free to share it with your colleagues, your coworkers, your teams, and friends, anyone who can use it. And if you want to get more information and dive even deeper into what I've said, check out my website at icycanfer.com. That's icycanfer.com. You'll see there that I have a plethora of information. Plus, there's my products page where you can get a free online boot camp that will go into recruiting online, and it'll walk you through 10 days of videos on how to share your content and go and have people join you without bothering friends and family. Another great product that you can get is for $27. You can get an ebook, an attraction marketing formula ebook. That's a blueprint. It'll teach you everything you need to know from beginning to end on how to grow and market your business online, regardless of what the business is or the industry is. And it's actually where I got my start 3 months ago. And along those lines, I can't tell you how wonderful it's been for me to use that book in helping me put together this presentation and everything I've done to build my online presence. It's even allowed me to grow close to 100 leads in less than 4 months. So everyone, once again, I want to thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a great day. I look forward to talking to you again. I'm Icy, and I'm always here to boost your business the online way. Take care, everybody.